Welcome to our channel Creative Minds. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about particle in 3D box. Students, up to now we have restricted ourselves to one-dimensional one-particle system, but in this lecture we are going to extend our knowledge to three-dimensional many-particle system. Like 1D box, outside the box the potential energy is infinity and inside the box the potential energy is 0. So the time independent Schrödinger wave equation for the energy eigenfunctions and energy eigenvalues is given as Hamiltonian psi equals to E psi. For one particle three-dimensional system, introducing the quantum mechanical Hamiltonian operator, which is given as Hamiltonian operator equals to minus h bar square over 2m del square over del x square plus del square over del y square plus del square over del z square. This operator in parenthesis is called Laplacian operator plus v of v, which is potential energy term for the three dimensions x, y and z. For one particle three-dimensional system, time-independent Schrödinger wave equation is written as minus h bar square over 2m del square psi plus v of psi equals to E of psi. Now, by considering a three-dimensional system for n number of particles, let the particle I have a mass of mi and the coordinates are given as xi, yi and zi, where I can have any value ranging from 1 to n. The kinetic energy is the sum of the kinetic energies of all the individual particles, and it is written here in this equation for the particle m1, for the particle m2, similarly up to mn. Here in this equation, the pxi is the x component of linear momentum of particle I. Similarly, pyi is the y component and pzi is the z component of the linear momentum. The kinetic energy operator is written for the particle 1 to n, and in combined form we can write it the kinetic energy operator as minus in the form of summation for particle 1 to n h bar square over 2 mi del square I. Here del square again is a Laplacian operator. The Hamiltonian operator for the n number of particles in the three-dimensional system can be written in the form Hamiltonian operator equals to minus summation for the large number of particles ranging from I equals to 1 to n h bar square over 2 mi del square I plus v potential energy term for the n number of particles from x1 to cn. The time independent Schrödinger wave equation can be written in as shown in this equation, where the time independent wave function is a function of the 3n coordinates of the n particles, and it can be written as wave function psi is equal to psi for x1 y1 z1 up to xn yn zn. The problem of a particle in three-dimensional box is simple extension of one-dimensional case. The simplest three-dimensional quantum mechanical system is the three-dimensional version of a particle in a box. In this case, the particle is confined to lie within a rectangular parallelepiped with the sides of lengths A, B, and C. The Schrödinger wave equation for the three-dimensional system is written as minus h bar square over 2m Laplacian operator equals to E of psi. Inside the box, as was in the case of 1D box, the potential energy is 0, and outside the box the potential energy is infinity. We will solve the problem of three-dimensional box by the method of separation of variables. In this method, we suppose that the wave function psi is the product of variables x, y, and z. So we will differentiate two times each of the variable x, y, and z, as you can see it in these equations. By substituting the differential equations of x, y, and z in Schrödinger wave equation, we get Schrödinger wave equation in its form as shown in this equation. By dividing this Schrödinger wave equation with x, y, and z on both sides, we get Schrödinger wave equation in its final form as minus h bar square over 2m double dash of x over x minus h bar square over 2m double dash of y over y minus h bar square over 2m double dash of z over z equals to E. Because x, y, and z are independent variables, students, so the value of each of the term can be varied independently, and to each term, and so each term must be equal to some constant to be valid for all the values of x, y, and z. We will define each of the term as minus h bar square over 2m double dash of x over x equals to E of x. We can write it again for in the similar way for y and z. Here Ex, Ey and Ez are constants, and E total energy is the sum of energy in x, y, and z directions. We will write these equations again in other form as d square x over dx square equal to minus 2me over h bar square into x. Similarly for y and z, it can be written as shown in this equation. So we can simply say that we have divided the 3D box into three 1D boxes, and the solution of 1D box can be applied to the 3D box. Applying the same same equation and same boundary condition, we get the solution for the wave function of the 3D box. This is the boundary condition for the particle in 3D box as x of 0 equals to x of a equals to 0. Similarly for y of 0 equals to y of b equals to 0 and z of 0 equal to z of c equals to 0. For the 1D box, we have already discussed that the wave function can be written as a sine of n pi x over a, and energy equation as n square h square over 8m square. Similarly, for the 3D box, we can write the wave function as separately for the x, y, and z variables. As for the x variable, wave function can be written as x of x equals to ax sine of n x pi x over a. Here nx can have any value ranging from 1 to up to infinity, and energy equation can be written as ex nx h square over 8m square. Similarly, we will write it for y and z variables, and the total wave function for the 3D box can be written in the form as psi xyz equals to axy ay az sine of nx pi x over a sine of n pi y over b sine of nz pi z over c. As we have already discussed that the total energy is given as energy E is equal to E of x plus E of y or plus E of z. By putting the value of Ex, Ey, and Ez in this equation, we get the equation in its final form as n square x h square over 8m a square plus n square y h square over 8m z square b square plus n square z h square over 8m c square. Taking the boss in the form of the square where the lengths a, b, and c is equal to a, we get the equation as h square over 8m a square into b square into c square n square x plus n square y plus n square z. For the lowest energy values, we put the values of nx, ny, and nz equal to 1, and the energy of the ground state becomes n3h square over 8m square. An interesting feature of the particle in a three-dimensional box occurs when the sides of the box are equal. In this case, where A is equal to B is equal to C, the concept of degeneracy arises. When two or more independent wave functions correspond to the states with the same energy eigenvalue, then the eigenvalue is said to be degenerate. There is only one set of the values nx, ny, and nz that correspond to the lowest energy level. This level is E11 and it is said to be non-degenerate degree of degeneracy. To understand the concept of degeneracy, let us take the example as three sets of the values of nx, ny, and nz corresponding to the second energy level. We say that this level is threefold degenerate. It is the second lowest energy level of the particle in a cube, where the energy can be written in the form as E211, E121, and E112. So it is threefold degenerate, which is the second lowest energy level of the particle in a cube. Students, the concept of degeneracy occurs because of the symmetry introduced. When the general rectangular box becomes a cube, then the degeneracy is lifted because the symmetry is destroyed by making the sides of the different length. So we can say that the general principle of quantum mechanics states that the degeneracies are the results of underlying symmetry and are lifted when the symmetry is broken. In this figure, you can see the different energy levels of a particle in a cube, and their degeneracies are also shown here. This is the non-degenerate ground state level of the particle in a cube, and this is threefold degenerate second energy level of the particle, and similarly different energy levels and their degeneracies are shown here in this figure. This is all from this lecture, and we will try to cover the postulates of quantum mechanics in our coming lecture.